right, it's almost 10 minutes before we say goodbye here on Morning Live. Now, every year, the SAMRO Foundation has managed music education and corporate social investment programs on behalf of the South African Music Rights Organization. Once again, the SAMRO Overseas Scholarship will be taking place on the 24th and the 26th of this month in Pretoria. The competition it is on its 56th year, and it goes on to actually test the skills of young musicians who will be competing for a 200,000 scholarship to pursue their professional development internationally. This year, the scholarship is targeting keyboard players. But to tell us more about the competition, we joined in our studios in Johannesburg by Andre Le Roux. He's Managing Director of the SAMRO Foundation, as well as Thandi Ntuli, who is a finalist in the competition. Good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much indeed. Kom ons begin met u, meneer Le Roux. Talk to us about this competition, and why do you see it important to grant a scholarship instead of cash?
Hey, well, no, that's a difficult question.
I know. Let's make it easy. Simplify it for us.
It's so important for the artists that have a longevity of career in the music business are usually the ones that have honed their skills and ones that have studied. And if you look across the board, those that have a long life are those that not only studied formally academically, but those that continue to hone their craft.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's important for them to study further and important for them to work further. So our competition is not only about studying in terms of formal study abroad. Some of them go on to do master classes with some of the best artists in the world. We had an interesting guy who went to do master classes in Cuba with the guys that did the Buena Vista Social Club stuff. I can't remember the name of the group. We had another guy, one of the best jazz drummers in the country, Kesava Naidu, who also didn't want to follow the formal route of study, and he went to study drumming in India and interesting percussion. So we have the flexibility that it's not only formal academic study, but a range of master classes. So you can hone your skills. The best of the best are the ones that hones their skills.
True.
And we like to, in this competition, like with Thandi, get the best of the best to compete against each other.
All right.
And also to learn and grow with each other.
So are you one of those best?
According to the competition, yes.
Because you're a finalist, obviously you are.
I'll take it for now.
Yeah, but how does it feel, Thandi, to be a finalist in this competition?
It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Partly, it's very nerve-wracking because I know South Africa has got, I think, of all the instruments, pianists in South Africa are really, really very capable, you know. So it's not for me like, okay, I've got experience and so this is going to be easy for me. I know that there's some incredible talent in the final, so I know that. And obviously because I would like to win the competition, so that's where the nerves come from.
Yeah.
But also, I think a competition like this always gives me, as an artist, the space to sort of focus on honing my skills or just tightening up. You know, sometimes when you're busy with gigging, you don't practice in a very focused way. And so this competition has just given me the space to be able to really zone in on my practicing and improve.
But as you said, it's not going to be an easy ride.
It's definitely not going to be an easy ride, and I don't take it for granted. I think probably most of the finalists I've actually heard playing. I mean, Nick Williams was my classmate when we were at university, and I've always had a lot of respect for him as a piano player and a musician because he's also a great bass player. So I know that I'm not going to walk through the competition.
You've got to earn it.
And that's also a great thing. You want to feel challenged.
But now, Mr. Le Roux, talk to us about the criteria that is usually followed when selecting these finalists.
When selecting these are actually the semi-finalists.
Oh, semi-finalists. So we are still to see finalists.
We're going to see them 7 in jazz and 5 in Western Art Classical competing on Thursday. Sure. And then only 4 gets through to the finals on Saturday night at UNISA. The criteria, and the interesting criteria of this competition is that in June, we have a panel of adjudicators that don't know who they're listening to. They listen blindly. Okay. They listen to their recordings. And on the basis of the recordings, they don't know if it's a woman, if it's black, white, or whatever. And on the basis of excellence, They listen to musicality, tonality, skill level, interpretation of repertoire, and a whole range of things. And then they decide, totally blind, who goes through. And then in the semi-finals on Thursday, they get to see all of them. And it's not based on the lovely dress code.
Or their beautiful faces.
We're not getting there. It's based purely on technical skill. And Thandi is right. In piano, we have some of the best in the world when it comes to jazz. I don't need to mention the Abdullah Ibrahims and the Begim Salekus, all of those. But not only that, in music, in the voice, we have someone like Levi Sechapani, who won our competition. And he just won Placido Domingo's Operalia, the Montserrat Cabal, the Mimi Kurtza. So you are not only competing on a South African stage. If you win this, you go on to compete internationally. And they, for me, are our ambassadors.
But talk to us about the previous winners. We just want to get an understanding of how much does the competition contribute towards the development of artists. Where are the previous winners?
Okay, we've got about 78, so I won't go through all of them.
Yeah, no, you can't. We don't have enough time.
But what's interesting, in this competition, one of the featured performances is by Bokani Daya. He won the competition 4 years ago. So they've got to wait 4 years to re-enter if they don't win. He entered the competition for the first time 8 years ago.
8 years back,
And this time around, he developed some of the commission pieces. And he's doing a featured work, I'm an African, based on Thabo Mbeki's piece. And he also became a Standard Bank Young Artist. Benjamin Japta, who was a runner-up, was a Standard Bank Artist last year. And I think there's another lady who's a Standard Bank Young Artist, Abigail Bushakovitz.
Okay.
So they are doing quite well.
Kesava Naidu, they do extremely well in South Africa. They win other competitions. Someone like Peter Klatso won the second competition in '64.
Okay.
His students have entered and won the competition. His students' have entered and won the competition.
So it's become quite a chain now. Well, we'll leave it at that for now, but thank you so much for coming through and all the best to you, Thandi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much indeed. Well, there you have it. That's Andre Le Roux. He is Managing Director of SAMRO Foundation, and Thandi Ntuli, who is one of the finalists? Semi-finalists. Yes. Semi-finalist, of course, talking to us about this beautiful competition, which is an opportunity for our musicians to grow beyond South Africa. Well, it's just a few minutes before 9 o'clock.